Hello, and welcome back to Bedtime Fables. The world has settled into a deep and peaceful quiet. A time for cozy blankets and sleepy thoughts. It's time for us to leave the busy day behind and travel to a secret, hidden place. A place that holds all the wonderful memories you thought you had forgotten. So snuggle down, let your breathing become soft and slow, and let your mind drift away on a gentle, fragrant breeze as our story begins. Deep beneath the roots of a great, sleepy willow tree, in a warm and wonderful burrow that smelled of old books, beeswax, and 1,000 sweet and earthy things, there was a very special kind of library. This library did not hold books full of words or maps of faraway places. This was the library of lost smells, and its kind and gentle keeper was an old badger named Arthur. Arthur was a very distinguished badger, with a soft, striped face, a waistcoat that was only a little bit rumpled, and a nose that was the most magnificent and sensitive nose in the whole wide world. He could tell you the difference between the smell of morning dew on a clover and morning dew on a daisy. He could tell you if a nut had been buried for 1 day or for 100 years. And his most important job was to be the guardian of all the smells that the world had started to forget. The library's shelves were filled with his incredible collection. In thousands of tiny, corked glass bottles, he kept the most precious and delicate things imaginable. He had a bottle that held the smell of a brand new book, its pages crisp and full of promise. He had another that held the warm, sweet, and slightly smoky smell of a campfire on a cool autumn night. He had captured the sharp, clean scent of the first snowflake landing on a pine needle, and the soft, sleepy smell of a kitten's fur as it napped in a patch of sun. Each bottle was a tiny, captured memory, a story told not with words, but with a scent that could carry you back in time in a single, gentle breath. Arthur believed that no good smell should ever be truly lost to the world, and so he gathered them and he cared for them. Arthur's library was a very secret place, but its location was known to the animals of the forest who were most in need of its magic. One night, as Arthur was carefully cataloguing a new scent, the smell of a rainbow, just after heard a very soft, very timid tap-tap-tap at his round, wooden door. It was a very unusual time for a visitor. He carefully placed his quill down, adjusted his spectacles on his nose, and padded over to the door, his claws making a soft, clicking sound on the smooth stone floor. He opened the door a crack and peered out into the cool, moonlit night. There on his doorstep stood the smallest fox kit Arthur had ever seen. His fur was the color of a new copper penny, and his eyes were a beautiful, sad green. He was clutching a flop-eared teddy bear in one paw, and in his other paw he was wringing a little handkerchief. A single, perfect tear was tracing a path through the dust on his cheek. "Excuse me, Mr. Librarian," the little fox whispered, his voice trembling. "My mother said you might be able to help me. I can't seem to fall asleep." Arthur's kind old heart immediately softened. He opened the door wide and beckoned the little fox inside with a gentle sweep of his paw. "Well, now, we can't have that, can we?" Arthur said, his voice a low, rumbling, and deeply comforting sound. "A young kid like you needs his rest. Come in, out of the cold. First, a cup of chamomile tea. It's my own special blend, with a hint of sleepy lavender and a whisper of sweet honey." He bustled about, his movements full of a gentle, grandfatherly purpose, and soon he returned with a tiny, steaming cup for his little guest. Finnian took the warm cup in his paws, and the sweet, sleepy smell immediately made him feel a little bit calmer. "Now," Arthur said kindly, settling into his own big chair, "tell old Arthur what the trouble is." Finnian took a small sip of the tea and looked up, his big, green eyes full of a deep sadness. "It's my grandma," he whispered. "She used to live with us, but now she lives very, very far away, across the great river, and every night she would tuck me into bed. It's the way she smelled, a special, cozy smell. It always helped me fall asleep. But now she's gone, I can't remember it properly. And my bed just doesn't feel right. I can't get to sleep without my grandma's hug smell." Arthur listened to the little fox's story, nodding his head slowly and thoughtfully. He knew this was the most important kind of lost smell of all. It was a smell of love and of comfort and of safety. "A grandma's bedtime hug," he said, his voice soft but sure. "That is a very powerful and very important scent indeed. And I am quite certain that we have it here. It might take some looking, but I promise you, little Finnian, we shall find it." A tiny spark of hope ignited in Finnian's chest. He watched as the old badger lit a traveling lantern and prepared for the search. Their search began in the aisle of baked goods, for Arthur knew that many grandmothers smelled of wonderful, sweet things. "Let's see," he mumbled, running a claw along the labels. "Is it the smell of freshly baked bread?" He uncorked a bottle, and a warm, yeasty, and delicious smell filled the air. Finnian took a deep sniff. "No," he said, "that's a lovely smell, but it's not quite right." Arthur corked the bottle carefully. "Perhaps the smell of cinnamon and brown sugar." He opened another. A sweet, spicy, and wonderfully cozy smell swirled around them. Finnian sniffed again. "Closer," he whispered, but no, it was softer than that. They moved on to the garden aisle, a place that smelled of 1,000 different flowers and green, growing things. "Many grandmothers have gardens," Arthur explained. Could it be the smell of a sun-warmed tomato vine? He let Finnian smell the green, earthy, and wonderfully summery scent. "No," Finnian said sadly. "My grandma's hug didn't smell like vegetables." "Of course not," Arthur chuckled. "What about ... the smell of night-blooming jasmine?" He opened a bottle that held a deep, sweet, and incredibly beautiful floral perfume. Finnian shook his head. "It's a beautiful smell," he said, "but my grandma's hug was ... cozier." Arthur's eyes twinkled. "Ah, cozier," he exclaimed. "I know just the place." He led Finnian to a quiet, dusty corner of the library, to the aisle of old, comfortable things. This was where he kept the most gentle and reassuring sense of all. The air here was soft and warm, and it felt like a hug all by itself. "Now," Arthur said, his voice a low, excited whisper, "we must be getting very close indeed. Let us see what we can find here. Perhaps the smell of a sun-dried cotton sheet, still warm from the line." He uncorked a bottle, and a clean, warm, and incredibly comforting scent filled the air, a smell of sunshine and fresh breezes. Finnian's nose twitched. His eyes, which had been so full of sadness, now held a spark of recognition. "That's a part of it," he whispered, his voice full of a new excitement. "It was warm like that. But there was something else, too." "A part of it," Arthur declared, his striped face breaking into a wide, happy smile. "My dear boy, of course, a grandmother's hug is not just one smell. It is a symphony of smells, a perfect and unique combination. It is a story all its own." His mind, which was a great, dusty catalogue of every scent imaginable, began to work. He remembered Finian's grandmother, a kind old vixen who loved to knit and who always had a small sachet of lavender in her pocket. Warm, like a blanket, he mumbled to himself, his claw tapping on one bottle and softened a little bit, like flowers ... He reached up and, with a triumphant little flourish, he took down 2 bottles from the shelf. One was a bottle that held the deep, comforting, and slightly dusty smell of an old woolen blanket. The other was a small, simple bottle that held the gentle, clean, and sleepy smell of faint lavender soap. "Now, little one," Arthur said, his voice full of a gentle reverence, "take a slow, deep breath." He held the 2 open bottles together, and the 2 scents, the warm wool and the sleepy lavender, rose into the air. They did not just mix, they danced. They swirled and intertwined, creating a brand new, wonderful, and completely perfect aroma. It was a smell that was warm and clean, soft and comforting, a smell that was as gentle as a whisper and as safe as a fortress. It was the smell of 1,000 sleepy evenings, of stories read by a warm fire, of gentle paws stroking his fur as he drifted off to sleep. It was a smell of pure, unconditional, and endless love. Finnian closed his eyes and breathed in a long, slow, deep breath that filled his whole little body, and he was there. For a moment, he was not in a magical library with a kind old badger. He was back in his own cozy bed, a much younger kid, and his grandmother's big, soft, warm arms were wrapped all around him. He could feel the soft scratchiness of her favorite woolen shawl, and he could smell the faint, clean scent of the lavender soap she always used. He could feel her love, as real and as present as if she were standing right there with him. A single, happy tear slid down his cheek and dripped onto his paw. He had found it. It was his grandma's hug smell. "I knew we would find it," Arthur said softly, giving Finnian's shoulder a gentle pat. "Now, we must prepare a special bottle for you to take home." He took a clean new bottle from a drawer, a beautiful little vial with a silver clasp. With a steady pour, he carefully poured a little of the warm wool scent and a little of the sleepy lavender scent into the new bottle. The 2 mists swirled together, creating a perfect, personal, and portable piece of magic. He pushed the cork in firmly. "There now," he said, handing the bottle to Finnian. "Just a single, tiny sniff of this before you get into bed each night, and your grandmother's hug will be with you until you fall asleep." Finnian took the bottle, his little paws holding it as if it were the most precious treasure in the entire world. He felt so full of gratitude, he didn't know what to say. So instead of words, he did the only thing that felt right. He wrapped his arms around the librarian's sturdy leg and gave him the biggest, most heartfelt hug a little fox could possibly give. "Thank you," he whispered into Arthur's rumpled waistcoat. "Thank you for finding my grandma." Arthur smiled, a deep, happy, and gentle smile. "You are most welcome, little one," he rumbled. "Memories are very important. It is my honor to keep them safe. Now, off you go. Your warm bed is waiting." Finnian said his goodbyes and stepped back out into the cool, quiet night. But the forest no longer felt lonely or empty. He held his little bottle of memories, and its soft, warm glow lit his way, a tiny, personal lantern of love. The moon shone brightly above, and the stars twinkled their silent, happy greetings. The world felt like a friendly, gentle place once more. He walked with a happy, bouncy step, his heart feeling light and his spirit feeling peaceful, eager to get back to his own cozy bed. When he got home, he climbed into his bed, which now felt perfectly right. He uncorked his little bottle and took one tiny, sleepy sniff. The wonderful, familiar smell of a warm woolen blanket and sleepy lavender filled his senses, and he felt as if his grandmother were right there, tucking him in and kissing his forehead. He closed his eyes, and before he could even think a second thought, he was fast asleep, drifting into the most peaceful and comforting dreams he had had in a very long time. Back in his library, Arthur sat in his chair, sipping his own cup of chamomile tea. He looked at the empty spaces on his shelves, and he did not feel a sense of loss. He felt a deep, profound sense of joy. The scents were not gone. They had just gone where they were needed most. He was not just a keeper of old, forgotten things. He was a mender of heavy hearts, a restorer of sleepy memories. And as he listened to the deep, quiet silence of his burrow, he felt that it had been a very, very good night's work. And now it is time for you to find your own cozy, comforting scent of sleep. Think of the smell that makes you feel the safest and the happiest. Perhaps it is the smell of your favorite blanket, or the clean scent of your pajamas, or the special, wonderful smell of a hug from someone you love. That is your own special, magical potion for a deep and peaceful sleep. All through the night, Finnian's dreams were sweet and full of comfort. He dreamed he was a tiny kid again, playing in his grandmother's beautiful garden. He could smell the rich, dark earth and the sweet perfume of her prize-winning roses. He dreamed of her kitchen and the delicious, warm smell of the berry pies she used to bake, the scent of cinnamon and sugar filling the air. He dreamed of sitting on her lap in front of a crackling fire in the winter, feeling the deep, rumbling purr of her happy laughter in his own little chest. The little bottle on his nightstand had not just given him a scent, it had unlocked the door to all the beautiful, happy memories he had kept safely in his heart. When the morning sun streamed through his window and tickled his nose, Finnian woke up. He yawned a great, big, wonderful yawn that stretched all the way down to his toes. He didn't feel the heavy, tired sadness that he had felt for so many mornings before. Instead, he felt light and rested and peaceful. He looked over at the little bottle on his nightstand, its magical glow now dormant in the bright light of day. He knew he didn't need to smell it now. The memory and the comfort it brought was now fresh and clear in his own mind. He could carry it with him all day long. Deep beneath the earth, Arthur the Badger was also waking from his daytime slumber. Before he began his nightly rounds, he took a new, empty bottle and a fresh, clean label. With his finest quill, he wrote a new title. It did not say woolen, blanket, or lavender soap. He wrote a grandson's love, for he knew that the true magic of the scent was not in the things themselves, but in the beautiful, powerful feeling they created together. He placed the new, empty bottle on the shelf, a placeholder for a new kind of memory, the memory of a little fox's gratitude, and of a kindness shared in the quiet of the night. That day, Finnian felt so full of love that he knew he had to share it. He asked his mother to help him write a letter to his grandmother. He told her all about his visit to the magical library and about the kind old badger who kept memories safe. And at the end, he wrote, "Even though you are far away, I can still feel your hugs every night. I love you." They took the letter to the river's edge and gave it to a wise old turtle who promised to carry it safely to the other side. From that day on, whenever Finnian would see Arthur in the forest, they would share a special, secret smile. They never spoke of the library or of the lost smell, but they both knew the magic that they had shared that night. And Finnian, who had once been a sad and sleepless little kit, was now full of a quiet confidence, for he knew that love and memories were real, powerful things, and that there was a kind, wise librarian who was always keeping them safe for everyone. And now, it is time for you to find your own cozy, comforting scent of sleep. Think of the smell that makes you feel the safest and the happiest. Perhaps it is the clean, fresh smell of your pillow, or the special, wonderful smell of a hug from someone you love. That is your own special, magical potion for a deep and peaceful sleep. Let that feeling of comfort wrap all around you like the coziest blanket. Imagine you are being given the biggest, warmest, and most wonderful hug in the entire world. Feel how safe and loved you are in that hug. It is a hug that takes away all your worries and leaves only a feeling of deep, profound peace. Let that warm, wonderful feeling spread through your whole body, from the tips of your toes to the very top of your sleepy head. Listen to the quiet, peaceful rhythm of your own breathing. Let it be as slow and as steady as the gentle, sleeping heartbeat of the quiet forest. A long, soft breath in, filling you with calm, and a long, sleepy breath out, letting go of all the day's busyness. This ancient, peaceful rhythm is a lullaby just for you, and it is guiding your body and your mind into a deep and wonderful sleep. The world is growing so very quiet now. All the busy sounds have gone to sleep. All the bright lights have softened. Now there is only a deep, comfortable silence, a perfect, peaceful quiet for you to rest in. It is a quiet filled with gentle magic and the promise of beautiful, happy dreams. It is the quiet of the library of lost smells, where all the good memories are kept safe. You are so very sleepy now. Your mind is quiet. Your body is still. You are ready to let go and float away into the beautiful, peaceful, and magical land of dreams. A place where all of your own best memories are waiting to tell you their wonderful stories. You are safe, you are warm, and you are ready to rest. Arthur, an old badger with soft, grey and white striped fur, wearing a pair of half-moon spectacles and a cozy tweed waistcoat, stood at his doorway for a long time, watching the little fox go. He watched until the tiny, brave lantern of Finnian bottle was just a speck of light amongst the trees, and then, until it was gone completely. The forest was quiet once more, but the silence felt different now. It was not an empty silence, but one filled with the happy, warm echo of a good deed done. He knew that in a cozy den, a little kit would finally be able to sleep peacefully, and that thought was the most comforting scent of all. He had not just found a lost smell, he had helped mend a little heart. Returning to the warmth of his library, Arthur took out his great ledger. It was a huge, ancient book, bound in soft, cracked leather, and its pages were filled with his spidery, careful script. This was not a ledger of accounts, but a ledger of feelings. Every time he helped a creature of the forest, he would make a note of it. He found a fresh page, dipped his quill into a tiny inkwell made from a hollowed-out acorn, and he began to write. He wrote of the little fox named Finnian, of his sad green eyes, and of his search for a grandmother's hug. He described the perfect, magical combination of warm wool and sleepy lavender, and the happy, single tear that had rolled down the little kid's cheek. He was the only one who would ever read it, but it was important to remember. As he wrote, a soft, humming sound seemed to fill the library. It was the gentle, collective whisper of all the other memories on the shelves. The bottle holding the scent of a kitten's first purr seemed to glow a little warmer. The bottle holding the scent of a promise kept pulsed with a soft, steady, blue light. The memories were happy. They were pleased that one of their own, a memory of love and comfort, had been sent out into the world to do its important work. The library felt alive with a quiet, contented joy, a silent celebration of the little fox's peaceful sleep. Just as Arthur was about to close his ledger, he heard another, even tinier tap-tap at his door. He opened it to find Scurry, the little field mouse who was the best listener in the woods. Scurry had seen Finnian leave the burrow, his face no longer sad, but full of peace. Scurry knew that the kind librarian had worked his gentle magic once more. In his paws, Scurry held out a single, perfect, jewel-like wild strawberry. It was the first one of the season, a great treasure for a little mouse. It was a silent gift, a way of saying, "Thank you for being the keeper of our forest's heart." Arthur's heart was so full it felt like it might spill over. He invited Scurry inside, and with the delicate precision of a surgeon, he took the tiny strawberry and sliced it perfectly in two with a sharp sliver of stone. He gave one half to Scurry and took the other for himself. They sat together in the warm, glowing library, two very different creatures, a great, wise badger and a tiny, humble mouse, sharing a feast of kindness. The strawberry was the sweetest, most delicious thing Arthur had ever tasted, because it was seasoned with the wonderful flavor of a friend's gratitude. The night was growing old. Scurry, with a final, thankful nod, scurried off to his own bed just as the first, faint hint of dawn began to paint the eastern sky. Arthur watched him go, then looked out at the changing colors. The deep, comfortable indigo of the night was giving way to the soft, gentle pastels of the morning. The stars were fading, their work done. It was the time in between, a quiet, magical moment when the world was neither asleep nor awake. His own great sleepiness was calling to him now. His work for the night was over. The library was tidy, the memories were safe, and a little fox was sleeping soundly, with a long, slow, and deeply satisfying yawn that showed his strong, gentle teeth. Arthur padded over to his own bed. It was a great, round nook carved right into the living root of the willow tree, filled with 100 summers' worth of sweet, dry grass. It was the coziest, safest bed in the whole wide world, and it was all his. He snuggled down into his bed, the familiar, earthy smell of the root and the sweet scent of the hay enveloping him like a warm hug. He closed his wise old eyes, and as he drifted off to sleep, he began to dream. And what does a librarian of lost smells dream of? He dreams in scents. He dreamed of the clean, fresh smell of the first day of spring after a long winter, and the warm, delicious smell of roasted chestnuts on a cold autumn evening. He dreamed a symphony of all the best, most beautiful, and most comforting smells he had ever known, a perfect lullaby for a very tired librarian. The sun rose and the forest awoke, filled with the happy sounds of a new day. And in a cozy den, a little fox kit named Finnian woke up, not with a heavy heart, but with a happy little stretch. He remembered his dream of his grandmother's hug, and he smiled. He knew she was far away, but he also knew that her love was close enough to touch. He tumbled out of his den and joined his brothers and sisters in a happy game of chase, his little legs feeling strong and his heart feeling as light as a feather. And deep beneath the great willow tree, the magical library slept, its secrets kept safe by the quiet earth. Arthur the Badger dreamed his sweet-scented dreams, and the thousands of little bottles waited patiently, each one holding a tiny, precious piece of the world's happiness, ready for the next time it was needed. The greatest magic of the forest was not in the spells of wizards or the songs of elves, but in the quiet, gentle kindness of a wise old badger who made sure that no good thing was ever truly forgotten. And now, it is time for you to visit your own secret library of memories. It is time to let go of the day and to remember all the wonderful, happy, and comforting things that happened. Each kind word, each warm hug, each happy laugh is a special scent, a magical memory that you can keep safely in your heart. Let these happy thoughts be your guide as you begin your own gentle journey into a deep and peaceful sleep. Imagine you are being given the biggest, warmest, and most wonderful hug in the entire world. Feel how safe and loved you are in that hug. It is a hug that takes away all your worries and leaves only a feeling of deep, profound peace. Let that warm, wonderful feeling spread through your whole body, from the tips of your toes to the very top of your sleepy head, making every single part of you feel relaxed and ready for rest. Listen to the quiet, peaceful rhythm of your own breathing. Let it be as slow and as steady as the gentle, sleeping heartbeat of the quiet forest. A long, soft breath in and a long, sleepy breath out. This ancient, peaceful rhythm is a lullaby, just for you, and it is guiding your body and your mind into a deep and wonderful sleep. A sleep that will make you feel strong and happy when you wake in the morning. The world is growing so very quiet now. All the busy sounds have gone to sleep. All the bright lights have softened. Now there is only a deep, comfortable silence. A perfect, peaceful quiet for you to rest in. It is a quiet filled with gentle magic and the promise of beautiful, happy dreams. It is the quiet of the library of lost smells, where all the good memories are kept safe and sound. You can feel yourself drifting now, floating gently down a soft, warm, and peaceful tunnel. You are leaving the waking world far behind. You are on your way to your own secret, cozy room of sleep, a place made just for you, where all your happiest dreams are waiting to tell you their wonderful stories. You are so safe and sound, tucked into your bed. You are in your own special, cozy den, where the world is warm and the light is gentle. You are completely protected, completely comfortable, and ready for the most wonderful, peaceful sleep. Every breath you take carries you a little deeper into that beautiful, restful place. You are so very sleepy now. Your mind is quiet. Your body is still. You are ready to let go and float away into the beautiful, peaceful, and magical land of dreams. You are safe, you are warm, and you are ready to rest. The journey there is soft and easy, and you are already on your way. Let yourself sink into the deepest, most peaceful sleep, a sleep that is full of warmth and comfort and the sweet scent of your own happy memories. It is a sleep that will make you feel strong and rested and ready for all the new and wonderful things that tomorrow will bring. Rest now, little dreamer. Rest now. Thank you for visiting the library with us at Bedtime Fables. There is always a new, magical memory waiting to be discovered. If you would like to join us for our next adventure, you can ask your grown-up to tap the subscribe button so we can all meet again. Until then, may your own dreams be full of the sweetest memories. Good night.